The greatest feeling you can get in a gym, or the most satisfying feeling you can get in the gym, is the pump. Let's say you train your biceps. Blood is rushing into your muscles, and that's what we call the pump. Your muscles get a really tight feeling, like your skin is going to explode any minute. It's really tight. It's like somebody blowing air into your muscle. It just blows up, and it feels different. It feels fantastic.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Toddcast. Thanks for tuning in. Of course, subscribe, rate 5 stars, helps more than you know it. But yeah, welcome back. Hope you are all doing well. I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day outside, but of course I'm inside for right now doing this episode. A little bit different. If you don't know me already, I absolutely love fitness. I'm quite of a gym rat. I'm on my way to that jacked city, you know? And I figured why not do a episode just kind of revolving around anything that I know about fitness from, I'll touch on things on how I got started, kind of going back into, my hockey days to supplements. And of course, I just want to say right now that I am not a personal trainer. Anything that I say through this is just kind of from what I've learned and have seen through, people that I follow, whether it's, people like Greg Plitt or Corey Gregory or Steve Cook and, the classics, Arnold, all these people to, dieting and all these things, it's just things that I've accumulated over the years of knowledge. And sometimes I might not even be doing the right thing or taking the right amount of a certain supplement, but I just wanted to put that out that, right off the bat, I'm not a professional at dieting, supplementation, fitness. So if you try anything that I have or that I suggest during this, don't come for me because essentially I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, which is not a good sign for listening to this episode. But anyways, like I said, thank you for joining. Where do I start? I guess from the beginning, I don't know. I mean, I've been pretty athletic and fit my entire life. I'd say right after high school is kind of when things changed a little bit. I was still, skinny. I'm still, I guess, skinny today, but like I don't know. I'm getting better now, but there was a time where like skinny fat, I guess, I was skinny, but like also just kind of like a little chub on the bone, a little bit. I'm currently like 225, but also I'm building muscle. So I'm a thick boy, but I also got, them thick ass thighs, with three C's, got thunder thighs, but that's from hockey. But all my life I've been, very athletic. Growing up playing hockey very, very competitively till I was about 16. And, of course, Little League and, not travel ball, but, all stars, all that stuff, like going pretty far. I don't know what it's called, but, we went really far. So, very athletic. I love sports. I just naturally fit, of course, when I'm that young, you're pretty much born with a 6-pack. So I didn't really have to do much, like burger and fries after practice sometimes because my metabolism is just on fire. But it kind of goes to the point of this episode of being fitness because when I played, the baseball thing does not really attest to fitness because, when you're young like that and you're not playing a super high level, you're not hitting the weight room. Like that was not a thing. But the hockey was my introduction to being in an actual weight room and lifting for specific reasons, beyond just trying to get bigger. It was more like functionality and increasing your, fast twitch fibers and stuff. So you can be faster on the ice and you can kind of hold your own against someone like when they come and, body check you and all these different things. So like I've kind of had a knowledge of basic movements and doing things in the gym. Of course, I don't remember a lot of the exercises that we were doing. I mean, maybe two that kind of stick out to my mind, that besides like the standard of, I don't even think we did bench press. It was a lot of like leg movements and stuff like that. But I mean, I know we did a lot of stairs, that's for sure, but you can do that anywhere. Stairs, I was definitely on any team I was on, I could jump up the most amount of stairs. Humble brag. But one that I always remember is the, what is it called? Is it like it's like, okay, there's the yoga ball. It's like a full ball, but then there's like a half ball. So there's a flat part, I guess, and then a ball. A lot of balancing, like split squats, I guess. Maybe they were pistol squats. And if you don't know what a pistol squat is, I think it's called a pistol squat. Stand on one leg. So if you're standing on your right leg right now, wherever you are, stick out your left foot. It can be slightly bent. I don't know. You can probably put it out straight. And then you just do a one-legged squat. And then, all the way down, all the way up. All while your opposite leg is outward. It's very hard. I think it got very popular due to CrossFit, because I think that's a big movement that they like to do, because they're just a pain in the ass. But anyways, introduction to, working out in the fitness room, gym, whatever you want to call it, at a young age. So I kind of had that in my DNA, if you want to call it that, for lack of a better way of saying it. So it's there. I know it. And then once hockey ended, high school, towards the end of high school and whatnot, when I stopped playing hockey, and then my introduction into going on tour, photography with, the bands like Of Mice and Men and, Woe Is Me and, all these different groups, the fitness went down and the partying went up. So yes, for I would say 80% of my touring career, which was probably 2010 when I graduated high school, till my last tour was October 2019 at the end of October. So, it kind of, as 2019 came along, kind of started gaining some weight. In the middle there, kind of got into a little, bit thicker. I don't know what my weight was, but anyways, the fitness was not there, didn't work out, and then just the having fun on tour and partying and all that stuff went up. So definitely went a very long time without doing an actual workout. And granted, there might have been sometimes, you're on tour and, you're at a hotel that has a gym and you'd go with your buddies, but that's the one workout or two workouts that you've done in a month or so. So it's like, does it really count? No. Does it make you feel better in that moment? Sure, of course. And we're all guilty of that. I've done that. But there was no fitness. And then I can't tell you what year it was, but basically I was like, I was seeing it in the mirror, and like I was, any photo that was taken of me, maybe I can find one and post it. I don't want to, but whatever. I was looking at myself. I was like, damn, I'm a little big in the cheeks. Of course, I knew that I was having a little bit of a gut, because I love beer. It's one of my biggest weaknesses. It sucks because that's the big thing. It's like, I want abs, and the hardest part is going to be cutting the beer. So I'm trying to do that. But I was seeing it in my face. I was getting, plump in the face, bigger cheeks, and just heavy set. Still slim, but that's the thing. It's like, it's a weird, skinny, but chubby, weird spot. I didn't like it. I didn't feel comfortable. So I went to 24-hour fitness, and I got a gym membership. It was awesome. I don't know. It might have been maybe a week or two into working out regularly, but I didn't have much to pull from, because I was like just at the very beginning, and I didn't really know what to do, where to start. And it's kind of crazy. I haven't thought about this until literally right now. Like I knew I was going to talk about kind of how I got started a little bit, but I never really thought that like, wow, there was a point where I didn't really know what I was doing besides the kind of basic movements that I was doing when I was like 16 and younger, like, which is a lot of stuff that doesn't apply to what I want to be doing now. Like, I'm not going back to playing hockey. Like back then, like my goal was to be a professional hockey player. Like I even at 16 flew out to Wisconsin, tried out for a juniors team. And for those of you that don't know, juniors is basically kind of like on the same scale as, you know, college. Professional hockey players come from, I mean, if you're in the States, college or juniors, or some other times, you know, they just get pulled from random spots. But I was good. That was my goal. I wanted to be a professional hockey player. And then I found a camera and whatever. But now, you know, I've been all over the US except Alaska. You know, I've got to travel overseas. So it's crazy. I mean, it's hard for me to say I wouldn't trade it for the world because I've met amazing people and, you know, I've had a great time, seen amazing places, but also you always think about what could have been. But anyways, starting at the gym, 24, just a standard gym, whatever, like nothing crazy. Like it's like, okay, I just need to get into the swing of things, learn, get better. But I had nothing to really pull from. So I think, you know, a week or two, it must have been, I can ask my brother because I think he was with me. So a week or two of just dicking around at the gym, like just picking things up and putting them down, standard movements that anyone knows, like bicep curl. Okay, cool. Maybe some pansy ass like squat thing or bench pressing, I guess. You know, like I can't remember what we were doing, but it was not great. We were basically just doing the bare minimum, but not because like we were lazy, but it was just all we knew. And one day I run into one of my best friends, Jason, and he was like starting his workout or something. And I've known him for literally my entire life. Like him and I were both months old when like our parents, you know, we got to introduce each other and et cetera. So we've known each other for our entire lives. And he's been more in, I mean, I think I want to say he did, wow, that was a weird stutter. He did, I think he wrestled in college. I'm not quite sure. He did something. He was kind of in the same position as I was, but he kind of was more into the fitness game from, you know, sports. I was in this weird spot where he was more in it than I was, and I was trying to get into it. And I saw him at the gym, and it was, you know, awesome because I was like, oh, cool. Like now I have someone here that like, okay, cool. Let's start going together. Right then and there, we jumped into a workout with him. I don't remember what it was. It might have been chest. Part of me wants to say chest, but ran into him. We got thrown into a workout with him. And basically from then, we were going pretty much every day. I mean, at least 5 times a week, if not 6 or 7, you know, a full 7-day week. Just thrown right into it. Immediately, like, started getting addicted to it because I had some sort of, like, he knew more about, like, actual shit. Like, he introduced me to a lot of people, like, this was later on, but, like, Dana Lynn Bailey, DLBs, like, we have, like, one of our favorite shoulder exercises is from Dana Lynn Bailey. We just call them DLBs. I think that's what she goes by, but it's like this shoulder, it's like if you're doing lateral raises, but you're sitting down in that machine and it kind of feels like you're flying. Basically, you put it at a weight that you know that you can do multiple sets of. And what you do, like I can do more than 40 pounds if I'm just doing, 3 sets of 10. But I'll go at a different weight, something that I know I can manage for multiple things, but still suck at the end of this, I guess, super set or mega set. I forget. So basically you're sitting at this thing and you do low. So this thing is supposed to go parallel, I think. Basically, yeah, sorry. I'm terrible at explaining, so just bear with me. So you're sitting there and you do where it goes to on the machine, and it'll show you you start with your elbows tucked in by your side, and then you bring it up basically so your elbows are in line with your shoulders, and then you go back down. So, but what we would do is you do lows. So that's, you don't go all the way up. And then you do, I think we did 10 or 10 or 15. So from elbows tucked to right before, like your elbows are parallel to your shoulders. So you're doing lows, and then you start from even elbows at shoulders and go high. So low, low, low. Well, you're doing 10, 15. So low, and then you go high. That's killing you. Try to look up, because your neck is going to not like you, at least not me. And then you do fulls. So low, 10, 15, high, 10, 15. And then full range of motion from elbows tucked in to, probably around like your temple height. Fulls, just cranking them out. Guarantee you, you're going to want to cry. It's pretty brutal. But he introduced me to these things. There's a lot of things that he's introduced me to that on my own, one, maybe I would have never known who this person is, or done this exercise, or learn proper, technique. Because I don't know if he followed through with it, but while we were at the gym, like we were getting to a point where like we were doing so damn good, and we were doing these crazy, crazy ass workouts where basically like everyone that worked at the gym, we were friends with the trainers and everything. Like we made friends with these trainers just because all the shit we were doing is crazy. And like one or two of them would be like we would be the guinea pigs for them. Be like, hey, Danny, Jason, try this. Oh, you're doing that? Okay, we'll try and tweak this movement and do it a little bit different. And it's always just insane, and it sucks. And Jason has made me puke at least like 3 or 4 times in that gym doing like sled work and slam ball supersets with what's the damn movement called? I forget what it's called, but like supersets that, I don't know. It's just insane. So if you're trying to kind of like start off at the gym, like where I was walking to the gym with my brother, and I got lucky and ran into my friend who's kind of already into it. Maybe you already have a friend that you know of that does go frequent the gym that you either go to or plan on going to. Hit them up, maybe ask them if you can like go in on a workout with them, just to kind of like get the baseline of maybe what you should be doing per workout. Like, all right, chest, this is kind of a traditional chest workout. Bang this out. All right, cool. Next week or next day, we're going to do back. And, like try and just see if there's someone that you can kind of piggyback off of. Cause I know like going online and, getting the apps and all this stuff, it's like, even for me now, knowing a lot of stuff, there's some movements I have no idea what they are. And I have to watch a video, and it's different. You can get the gist of a workout or an exercise or a certain movement from, looking at a video online, but you don't have the person. Like, for example, one thing that Jason and I absolutely love, and I can on certain exercises do it to myself to kind of make sure I'm getting that muscle activation. But like, say you're doing chest, so like a chest fly, for example. I hope you know what that is. If not, look it up. Chest fly. And when you're squeezing together, you can feel, your chest squeezing together and pump up. But what's nice is we will go to each other, and like he'll put his fingers on each side of the pec where we're trying to activate the muscle the most. And sometimes you're maybe not hitting it as much, or you just having someone touch it, it kind of like puts your mind more into like, okay, that's the muscle, like mind to muscle connection, I guess you could say. It definitely helps. And you can do that for, a bicep movement too. Say you're doing like a 1-arm preacher curl. Look it up if you don't know what it is. Amazing. Sometimes I like to, I think I do it all the time now, is I will place like, a few fingers. Like, have you ever checked, like when you're cooking a steak, and you want medium rare, like you can tell by the touch of it, right? A little bit springy, firm, but not too firm. Like you can go off the finger thing. I forget which one it is. I think it might be like touching your thumb to your middle finger, I think. But anyways, it's like almost checking a steak. When you're doing this movement, just kind of keep like, I don't know, I use like a few fingers, and I just touch my bicep. And of course, there's two heads. So if I'm working it a different way, like if I have my elbow tucked and my wrist and hand is kind of going outward, I'll check the inside a little bit more because that's what that movement is working for. But if I'm, elbow kind of tucked in, but I'm going inward, I'll touch more of the outside. Or if I'm just doing a standard thing, like I like to touch the muscle area that I'm working to kind of, one, it's a cool feeling because you're like, oh shit, like I feel like if I had a needle right now, I could pop this bicep or chest or whatever. Excuse me. But it just helps with that mind, to muscle connection, which in turn helps you get that better contraction to build your muscle, of course. That's the goal here. That's the goal. And I totally blanked. I was going to say something and I totally forgot. I'm going to take a quick water sip of my Liquid Death. Quick plug on that, of course. Shout out Sticks and Liquid Death for always hooking me up. I love you guys. And I believe you can get, I think it's 10% off. So go shop around. Definitely try their water. The sparkling is my favorite, but for the podcast, I've learned that carbonated beverages makes me it makes everyone burpy. It's not great for podcasts. I mean, I've only burped once so far this podcast. That's, I think, our new record. But anyways, go try it out. They have amazing water, great cause. I mean, death to plastic, of course. Murder your damn thirst, you thirsty ass bitches. Shop around. They have a lot of cool merch. I have merch myself that I absolutely love, that I wear at least once or twice a week. So do that. But to get the discount, you got to add a koozie. So shop around, add stuff to your cart, try the water. It's amazing. Great cause too. You can find all about it on their website, liquiddeath.com. But make sure to add the koozie and also the code DTOD10. So I believe you get I think it makes you get a free koozie, but it also activates the code. I could be wrong, but just make sure to add the koozie because then the code will not work. Anyways, Liquid Death, mountain water, drinking water from the Alps. Murder your thirst. Oh yeah. Let's see here. But yeah, I would say it's definitely a big help to have someone to work out with. For a while now, I mean, since Jason, moved to a career path where, him and I, can't work out every day, and I was having to go, like back in California, I had to go, wake up at 6:30 in the morning to go get my workout in before work. Like, it was few and far between that we were able to work out together. So like things were different, but at that time and now currently I work out by myself, but that's just how it is. I don't have anyone yet here in Idaho that I can work out with. Just got to make some friends. But yeah, it'll definitely help if you can, even if it's like a friend that's on the same level as you, it definitely helps, especially from a motivation standpoint, like sometimes you just don't want to be the one to quit out on a set, or you can push them, be like, hey, all right, come on, one more rep, one more. Hopefully you can talk better than I can and be more motivating. But it definitely helps. But if you don't have anyone to work out with, I mean, if you can afford a trainer, even just for like, I don't know how they do it. I don't know if it's like, you have to buy a week or a few sessions or, a month, or I don't know how it works. It's not a bad idea to look into it and see, one, how much it is. If you can afford it, that'd be great. And maybe just tell them like, this is kind of like the direction I want to go. I only really know so much about these certain movements, which is just like maybe your traditional lifts, that everyone knows. I just want someone to kind of guide me so then I'm more equipped when I'm by myself working out. So try that. And it's fun. Like, of course you want to be careful, you want to be safe, learning proper technique. It's one of those things that you'll learn, but like it's better to learn it up front because, if you start doing everything with bad movements and you keep doing it and keep doing it and you keep hammering those bad movements in your brain and that's all like one, you might just hurt yourself down the road, whether you know it or not. And you might just be hindering the amount of gains you can get or the weight loss that you want to achieve. Like there's so many different things that come with good form. Of course, with good form, most of the times you have to sacrifice the weight, which we all know that you're not going to look like the strongest person in the gym. It's definitely a very ego thing, You always, like some people might be listening to what I'm saying. You're like, no, not me. Like I could care less what people think, which is good. It's harder for some people. And even myself, I'm guilty of it because, of course, I want to be the strongest, most jacked son of a bitch in that fucking gym. It's just how you want to be. You want to be the top fucking dog. Well, to be the top fucking dog, get some lighter weight and get the reps actually correct. Like do the full rep. Try doing different things. For example, one thing that I really love doing, it's a weird love, hate because it hurts. It's just, you feel it, but the pump is insane. It's amazing. But like negative reps, like you say you're doing like what? Let's see here. What can we do? We'll just go back to the bicep curl, right? So say you have an easy curl bar or just a flat bar and you're doing bicep curls, right? You're usually kind of just going at a good pace. Up, squeeze down, up, squeeze down, 1, 2, 3, whatever the dance thing is, at a good tempo. You have a good tempo going on, but you try and do, you can probably do that for good reps, like for a decent amount of weight, like that, you're looking good, you're getting the pump. But now to try and switch up, because your muscles will get used to things, you'll hit a plateau, and plateaus are not fun. But there is a good way to kind of break up plateaus is throwing in like these negative reps. Where say you're okay, back to this, bicep curl, right? Instead of going up, squeeze down, go up, squeeze, and then maybe down for a 5 or 10 count. So you go up, squeeze the biceps, and then you come down slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 10 seconds, however long you kind of want to do it. But it increases the time under tension and your muscles are just angry and just pulling and ripping and tearing. And it's just going to, obviously provide gains. And I apologize if here and there I kind of pause on seconds because, like I mentioned at the very beginning of this episode, I'm not a professional. So I'm trying to explain things the best that I can with the knowledge that I have because, I don't know specific. I'm learning terminologies and stuff like that. So just bear with me if I pause here and there trying to find my words. So drop the weight. You don't need to be a hero. Of course, like fellas or even girls, like if you're in the gym and you're trying to impress the girl down the squat rack, like she's not going to be very impressed if you're trying to squat an insane amount of weight and you can't do it and you're just poor form. You're not going 90 degrees. Like you're just looking like a damn fool. Like you're only doing like one set of 5 and you can't do anything. Like yeah, it might be beneficial for certain things. Like, for example, there's a rep scheme. You do 5 by 5, but you get heavy weights and you do like, all right, I'm picking this and I have to do 5 reps for 5 sets and it's heavy. And if you don't finish 5 sets of 5 reps, Doesn't count. It's terrible. It's terrifying. Terrible and terrifying. Oh, burp number 2. Shit. Fuck. Drop the weight. Check your ego at the fucking door. Drop the weight. Perform the exercise correct. To this day, I am still guilty of wanting to go a little bit too heavy. I'm trying to get better at it. I'm still learning myself. You know, I have a specific goal of kind of what I'm looking to be like. Not be like, because I want to be my own person. I have my own set of genetics. But, you know, like, and this is someone or two people you'll have to kind of look up. Who I'm talking about. First and foremost, oh my dude. Greg Plitt, incredible, rest in peace. Don't try to outrun trains. And Steve Cook. I'm sure you all probably know Steve Cook if you are into fitness. I'm not sure if he's still a Gymshark athlete, but that's a lot of people know him from. Definitely just a huge presence on social media. So check both of those guys out, Greg Plitt and Steve Cook. Of course, a little bit of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hopefully I said that right. I always get afraid saying that, but yeah, check out those two people. Greg, like I said, Greg Plitt, Steve Cook, kind of the body style that I'm aiming towards because I feel like it best suits my genetics. Of course, my chest is my weakest, but that's like one of the things. Like I am trying to figure out what is best for my muscle growth. I'm trying the 5x5 workout split. I, looked at Corey Gregory's app that I frequent on and off because I just try and break plateaus and whatnot and figuring things out. Like the workout I was doing for him or with his many workout plans, his 4-week plans was I was doing 4 sets of 25 reps and it was a killer. So I'm trying out, all of the high repetition workouts. I'm trying the low heavy ones where you do kind of sacrifice a little bit of your form, but here and there it sometimes is okay. I know I might be kind of like going back on what I was saying of drop the weight, but I think once you get to a point, there is certain times where it might be okay to slightly dip off of good form, because then, it's just going to be forever. And I don't know, sometimes, like for example, when you're at the end of a set and you're getting to that last rep and you can't do it, like there's the cheater rep where you kind of throw your movement into it instead of just solely relying on, back to your biceps. You can kind of do a cheater curl, like to just, you got to get it up there. You got to finish that rep. And sometimes you need just a little throw of the body, the hips, So there is a proper time of kind of sacrificing a little bit of form, but it's not enough to where you want to hurt yourself. So it's weird. It's like this balancing act. You want to hit your rep range that you have set, which is something I'm still learning. Like I was saying, I ping pong back and forth between the high rep schemes to the, like I said, 5x5s and stuff like that, or popular that I do with especially my squats and deadlifts, pyramid rep scheme. So 12, I might have this messed up, but I think it's like 12, 10, 10, 8, 8, 8, 5, 5, 3, 3, 3, 1, 1, 1, something like that. You can look it up for a proper thing. It always changes. Sometimes I forget my little booklet that I write down. But yeah, it's all about, figuring out what's best for you, balancing act. Do I go heavy for this? Like for me, chest is my weakest part. So like that's the one I'm trying to figure out the most. My shoulders and my biceps, triceps, and my legs are chill. Like I can do whatever I want with my legs and I'll be good. They're already kind of naturally big just from years and years and years of playing hockey. But, so I can kind of do more with my bicep, all those other, like the body parts I just mentioned. But my chest is my struggle area. I can get the middle part, like my upper chest and my middle to get that split, looks good. Just my struggle part is kind of rounding out the bottom and kind of the inside by the armpit where it still holds a bit of fat. Of course, I know that that's going to be a lot of just losing weight. So that's another thing. goes with even abs too. I do my heavy crunches and I got to get back into it. I've been kind of not doing that great, but I at least do 100-pound ab crunches on the rope cable pull. But a lot of things are going to be built in the kitchen. They say abs are built in the kitchen. I also feel like that might be the same a little bit for the outside under part of my titty. Matata. So yeah, trying to figure it out, go into the gym, see what's up. I mean, find out what your goal is for sure. That's a huge thing. Kind of have in your head, like, this is what I want to do, which I actually need to do better of myself. I know the two people that I'm kind of basing my ideas off of what I want to look like, but I need to have, I loosely have a goal as far as my weight. Like right now, I want to drop down to 200. That's kind of my first goal. Or maybe I should go, all right, I want to get to 210. Break it up into smaller, more achievable goals that will have a better return on my happiness and my efforts. So I just need to sit down, and maybe I'll do it after this. I sit down and be like, all right, by this date, I want to try my hardest to be 210 pounds. And then after that, I'll go, all right, 200 pounds. And then start bringing that into like, okay, by this time, I want to be able to hit this amount of weight. Or I want this size, whatever. Or I want this ass that can't quit. Like I want the triple C thick thighs. Like figure out what your goal is. Go in there. Like I said, if you can afford a trainer, do it. Or if you start, kind of been at the gym and just kind of going through the motions, but you kind of like, created some sort of bond or friendship with anyone there, go up and ask them, be like, hey, like, do you have a suggestion for this? I'm trying to work this out. What's something you would recommend? And even ask a trainer. I mean, like, yes, of course they have paying clients, but if you go up to them, I guarantee you, like, they'll definitely help you out. They're not going to go in more times, out of I definitely don't know how to say that properly. Most of the time, they probably won't come with you and babysit you through the entire movement. But like I was saying, when Jason and I were at the gym and we were doing workouts, our friend that was one of the master trainers there, she would look over and be like, hey guys, I see you doing this. Great job, but tweak this a little bit. Do this differently or try this. Like, oh, if you're trying to work this more, maybe throw something underneath you to arch your back with chest or something like that. Like, don't be afraid to ask. Hopefully you're at a gym, a place that, you feel comfortable. I'm sure there's some gyms out there that, might be intimidating, but you know what? Everyone is there for the same reason. And if you run into an asshole, then that's their own fucking problem. You're in there bettering yourself just like everyone else is. Some for different reasons. Some people might be competing, that's their life, and that's amazing. But you're in there to work on yourself and get better. Whether it's just visually, like just you don't care that it makes you a healthier person. You just want to look jacked. Great. You're still bettering yourself. You're doing work. You're maintaining a schedule. Like there's so much about working out and fitness and bodybuilding, everything from diet to driving to the gym to working out to changing your fucking clothes from your work clothes to your gym clothes. There's so much into it that just makes you, I think, a better person because, you set boundaries for yourself. You're like, okay, well, I had this last night, so I'm going to be a little bit better on my food and, or do what I do. I've been failing at it recently just because new house and things are crazy and, just whatever. During the week, have your good food. Don't cheat your meals, cheat here and there, like depending on your workout. If you do a banging ass, like crazy, like heavy, like you just killed a leg workout, something that or like a back workout where you're deadlifting, stuff that with huge movements, yeah, maybe have a little bit extra food or, maybe some more carbs or something. Like you can figure out what's best for you, but there's so much that goes into it that I think helps us every day. I mean, just having a schedule and just holding yourself accountable. When you get into it and you miss a day at the gym or two, sometimes I will not go to the gym for 2 days on purpose to kind of like let my body reset and heal so I can go back in the gym and, be at 100% and one, not hurt myself, but also get maximum lifts. But when you don't go, it's like, fuck, I feel so empty. I need to be at the gym right now. So sometimes if you just go on a walk on the treadmill or something. But burp 3, fuck, I'm messing up here. Yeah, just so much goes into it and you get so much out of it. Even if you just want to go in there and maintain where you're at right now and you just have a great metabolism and you're fit just by your genetics and you just want to maintain and be healthy, it'll not only keep you healthy, of course, like you want, but like it'll help you with, your mind clarity, your happiness. Like sometimes just going and getting a good workout in, even if it's not a good workout, like you come out of it feeling a lot better than you did before. So just do it. If you're scared of signing up for a gym membership, that's one of the hardest parts is, well, obviously signing up for a gym, but getting to the gym it's hard on its own. And I feel like that's a small accomplishment, which you can kind of tick off for the day. It's like, all right, cool. I got to the gym. Now I'm here. Might as well put in work since I'm here, right? Reps for Jesus, rent's due, bitch. Pay up. I absolutely love that. I kind of think of it in a way sometimes, maybe just for fun too. Obviously, reps for Jesus is fun, but like rent's due. Rent's due. Got to pay the man, not the man like the man's trying to take all your money like taxes, man. But like rent is due. Pay with reps. Put in the work. Pay with the work. Pay your rent. Leave there feeling good. Like when you pay off a bill, you feel great after. Of course, you lost money, but you feel great. It's kind of the same. So I just get into it. Find out what gym might work best for you. For some people, a Planet Fitness might work best for you because, there's not going to be an abundance of crazy ass jack dudes or, fit ass chicks, or go to a place that's going to be kind of intimidating. And, there is a lot of the bodybuilders and, these jacked, just insane looking dudes and girls. And it could be a very motivating thing. And that's kind of where I'm going. The place I go to, shout out Precision Fitness, absolutely love it. There's all sorts of people, there's the people that, are more jacked than I am. And there's people that are kind of just, one, they might be older. They might be in their 50s, 60s, older women, older men, probably some grandmas and grandpas, they're putting in the work. So maybe try and find a gym like that. You have something to look forward to. Like, that's what I want. That's okay, cool. That guy's putting in the work. I can do that too. Or on the other hand, it's like, all right, I'm not the only one here that's kind of just putting in motion and doing all of this stuff. So definitely try and find out what gym might be best for you. And let's see here. I have some other things written down. I recommend watching, like I was saying earlier, Greg Plitt. He has a thing on YouTube. Greg Plitt. You can just type in Greg Plitt. I think it's just GregPlitt, I think. And then MFT28. I think he has full workouts. I think it's just on there. Watch the videos. He also has some motivational videos on there as well. Also, another one, if you kind of just need someone like in your ear, like in your headphones, kind of just pumping you up. Jocko Willnick. Let me pull this up here. I think it's on music. Fuck. He has, okay, I need to make sure I close this without closing my other window. Jocko Willnick is a badass motherfucker. Jocko. Let me see if I can just type that. Jocko Willink. Come on, baby. He has an album that I think it's called, is this right here? Jocko Willink. Psychological warfare. Psychological warfare. For example, first track, Wake Up and Get After It. I mean, there's a bunch of different things. I was listening to it for a while. There's one that's basically like, wake up in 5 seconds, get out of bed in 5 seconds. And then he counts down. And basically, once the 5 seconds or however long it is, if you got out of bed, he's like, all right, cool. You achieved that. You can turn to the next episode or whatever, next track. You accomplished this. You got out of bed, which for some people, it's very hard, especially when the first thing is going to the gym. But of course, like me now, I have to go to the gym after work. So it's a little bit different. He does have different tracks on that. The psychological warfare. I believe you can just type in Jocko because I think that's what it's under. I'll try and put some links into the show notes. Same with the Greg Plitt MFT 28. But going back to the Greg Plitt's thing, the MFT 28, there's things I think I found out about these videos. I mean, at least like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 5, maybe? No, probably 3 or 4. I don't know. There's a lot of movements and things that I do now today. So definitely check them out. It's a more intense, I guess, but check it out. Maybe you can just pull things from it. Another person that he is absolutely insane as well, but he has different things. I know for a fact that he has women's workouts as well. Corey G Fitness. It's an app. Also, just go to the web browser as well. I believe it's $8.99 a month, which is totally affordable. You can cancel. And I mean, I've, reactivated my membership, deactivated it, reactivated it so many different times, just kind of break plateaus and get ideas from, doing workouts to throw in and whatnot. Absolutely insane. He was the person that Jason and I got the idea for doing squat every day, which was basically you squat every single day. You start your workout with squats and then you go into your chest or your shoulders or whatever. It was absolutely insane. I do recommend it. I highly recommend it. You're going to hurt a lot. You're not going to walk right for at least 2 or 3 weeks. The last week is better, but it's insane. My numbers went up. I think I have the calendar somewhere that I printed out that you kind of hold yourself accountable and write your notes. And went up this much, yada, yada, yada. Highly suggest that. Very affordable. And then he has Max Effort Muscle, which is his supplement company, which is amazing. And there's a few supplements that I want to talk about shortly after this. But another one is Steve Cook's Fitness Culture. It was a bit more expensive. Very, very, very bit more. That doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean. I think it might be like $80 a month or something like that. But I tried it once for their ab contest, I think it's an ab contest. Might be a full body contest. I forget, but it was $50, and then I canceled it after that. But this was pandemic time, so I think some shit happened and yada yada yada. If you got money to spend, I mean, Steve Cook Fitness Culture, pricier, but Corey G Fitness, it's more nitty gritty, insane shit. That's where I got the rep scheme of 4 sets, 25 reps. But he has all these different ones. So, I mean, a massive amount of workout programs. So, check it out. Greg Plitt, MFT28, Corey G Fitness app, Steve Cook Fitness Culture. And I think, just to throw other things out there, if you want to try and find motivation or even just kind of get the mindset of just working out. These are definitely, if you're just trying to maintain and you don't really give a shit, about getting jacked and whatnot, you might not really care, but it's really cool. They're put together really nicely. Let's see, there's these movies, Pumping Iron. There's a Generation Iron 1 and 2, Bigger, Stronger, Faster. There's more. I'm not sure if they're all on Netflix. You can probably easily type them in and find them, maybe YouTube or whatnot. I feel like I've watched Pumping Iron and Generation Iron 1 and 2. They actually might all be on Netflix. Highly, highly suggest them. Definitely. And let's see here. Just because I'm getting close to where I wanted to be with this episode, just wanted to shout out some of the things that I personally use as far as supplements. Since the move and all of that, like I haven't really had the funds to really go out and just spend all the money that I want to on the supplements that I really like. But the main ones, of course, protein powder. I personally like the Optimum Nutrition Hydro Whey. It has 30 grams of protein, 140 calories. Most of the protein powder you're going to find, whether you go to Target or Walmart or your vitamin shop or bodybuilding.com, most of them have 25 or 24 or 25 grams of protein, upwards to like this one, 30. There's a lot of great brands. I mean, Optimum Nutrition is kind of my favorite just because that's what I've just fallen in love with, especially this Hydro Whey that it's, I don't know the science behind it, but it's hydrolyzed whey. So for one, the shaker cup, honestly, I could probably mix it with a damn spoon. But also it just absorbs better when you drink it. I think it might have, the 140 calories seems a little lower than what your standard protein powder might be, but not by much. It's just more expensive, maybe like by $20. I think if you get a pound or like the 3 pound, I forget. The big thing, their standard one, like if you're talking Optimum Nutrition, their standard protein, their whey, I think it might be like $50. You get the same size of the Hydro Whey, it's like 70, 75. So try and see what's up, but really any protein powder is going to be good. I mean, even just your standard one that you can probably go to Walgreens and get like a legit protein powder. So look into it, see what you like. I mean, I like whey. Some people, whey might not work with them. Figure it out. I mean, there's pea protein. There's some other shit. I can't do the pea protein. It's just the taste is fucking weird. So yeah, protein powder for sure. I absolutely love Citrulline Malate, and I just pulled a little bit of stuff because, like I said, I'm not a professional. In my own terms and knowledge, I know what it does and what it is, but for the sake of kind of giving you some knowledge, I copied some stuff to kind of direct my conversation with this. I think I pulled this from, let's see here, transparentlabs.com. So basically, citrulline is a non-essential amino acid. Also, your small intestines produce it. So when you supplement with your citrulline, it just obviously kind of activates that citrulline and more, concentrated and just boosts your levels, which in turn, a higher citrulline level or content in your body, it'll boost your nitric oxide levels. So for example, if you've ever been to like a vitamin shop or whatever you go to get your GNC, and you say you're buying like a pre-workout or something, some of them might even have the words nitric oxide boost on it, or NOx on it, or you might have even seen its own powder of nitric oxide booster or whatever. It's all just basically gonna give you a better pump. So it boosts your nitric oxide levels, and higher nitric oxide levels is definitely, it's beneficial on a lot of things. It's expanding your blood vessels and kind of supports a better cardiovascular function. So for example, fellas, you might understand this, better boners. You're going to have better boners. It's going to be insane. You're just, better better blood flow because your blood vessels are expanded more. So your blood is not having a harder time kind of going through your vessels. Does it make sense? When you're getting that pump, right? say you're doing back to the bicep curls, right? You're getting that pump. You feel like your arms are going to explode. That's just like pretty much all of the blood just pumping up in to your muscles. So if your nitric oxide levels are higher due to your citrulline malate, whatever, your pump is going to be better. And in turn, it's going to help with not only like your actual workout so you can do more, but also I take it all throughout the day. I mean, like 2 or 3 times. It does help your recovery too, because blood flow is just going to help everything kind of keep it going. So basically, another way of saying this, citrulline supercharges your nitric oxide metabolism. Your muscle cells can count on more blood flow. Why do I have trouble saying that? Your muscle cells can count on more blood flow and therefore oxygen and nutrients during weightlifting. This also helps delay the onset muscle fatigue. So, I highly suggest it. If you're a dude, better boners. I'm sure there might be more beneficial things, maybe for some women too. I don't know. Girls don't get boners, so I don't know about that. But there's a lot of different benefits. You can look more into it. I kind of just wanted to throw a little bit more information, basically just besides the fact that I personally know that it helps blood flow, better pump, and good muscle recovery. So there's that one. Look it up. I like the citrulline malate. It's basically, so there's I think they're all L-citrulline, but you can get just citrulline. And then what I like to get is the citrulline malate, which is just citrulline combination of, it's a citrulline combo of that and malic acid. So it just helps with the energy and all that bullshit. You can check it out yourself. Another one that I really like to use, especially recently, because now that I don't get to the gym until like 4:30, I'm not done until maybe 5:30 to maybe 6:30, depends on the workout of the day. So pre-workout is not really going to be my thing for, I don't know, because it's later on in the evening. I don't want to be up till 2, 3 in the morning trying to sleep because I took pre-workout. But one thing that I kind of started to supplement with, because before I did the move, I was kind of being really sensitive to caffeine. And I mean, I was drinking like decaf Americanos and stuff, like just to kind of like not do it, but have coffee. So I was off pre-workout and stuff, but I needed something to kind of help me with it. And I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast with Matt Frazier, who is the GOAT of the CrossFit Games. I think he's like 4 or 5 time champ in a row, I think. Great episode. I highly suggest you check it out. But he just does these massive dumps of beta alanine. Like he just takes scoops of it, which I'm starting to do. I got to learn to slow down. I got to slow down on talking. Just talk. After listening to that episode, I kind of looked more into supplementing with just beta alanine. And just for an example, if you've taken pre-workout before and you kind of get that face tingle, sometimes you feel it on your shoulders and a little bit on the chest, or, mostly it's in the face. You get that tingle. Well, that's because your pre-workout has beta alanine in it. And, I don't know. I'm weird. I like that tingle. So it kind of in my mind tricked me. I was like, I know I'm not having 300 milligrams of caffeine, like caffeine anhydrous or whatever you want to call it. But it kind of, once I felt that tingle, I'm like, okay, shit's fucking happening, bro. So if you're wondering what beta alanine is, it's a non-essential amino acid that is produced naturally in the body. Beta alanine aids in the production of carnosine. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Which is a compound that plays a role in muscle endurance in high intensity exercise. Which, usually when you get a pre-workout, sometimes you take your pre-workout because you're tired and you need just the caffeine part. Like you just need to wake up. Or sometimes what I've done with my pre-workout with my buddy Jason is when I go to his house right before we go, it's like, all right, bro, let's slam this pre-workout. So now we have to be there within like 10 to 15 minutes rocking and rolling, you know, like kind of push yourself to get your ass in gear and start working. But I didn't like, I kind of lost my train of thought there, but beta alanine is great. I don't necessarily need the caffeine. Once I get in the gym, it's, you know, more of a mindset thing. And I don't feel like I really need the caffeine. I mean, maybe on the weekends, cause I can go whenever I want during the weekend. Maybe I'll have a Bang Energy cause I don't need to buy a thing of, it might save me money. So I might look into it. But if you're if you're sensitive to caffeine, but you want some sort of, you know, pre-workout maybe feel or, you know, the benefits really, I would highly suggest that you look into getting beta alanine. I don't know the brand. It's in my car and I actually need to get more. Maybe go to the store, your local GNC or Vitamin Shop or wherever you go and look at the different ones and see, I mean, one price is an option too that you got to look at. But I feel like pretty much they're all going to be kind of the same thing. Maybe you go on bodybuilding.com and find like the highest rated one. Maybe I'll put a link in the show notes of the one that I use that I like. I think I'll put links for all of the things that I buy. That might help. But it's definitely a game changer. Not only do I kind of trick my brain into feeling like, all right, it's showtime. It's showtime. Face is getting tingly. But, you know, it definitely helps. Obviously, like I was saying from this, which I think I also pulled from transparentlabs.com. It's basically, you know, it's helping your muscle endurance. So like you can go further with your workout. You can push a little harder because the beta alanine. So highly suggest it. But if you're kind of balling on a budget, I would recommend if you're going to get anything, I mean, I would say definitely protein powder. And then it's a toss up. I mean, citrulline malate is incredible. I guess it just depends on what your goal is. If you're trying to get bigger, like, you know, you're trying to get jacked, like try and buy all three. But I would definitely, I think maybe get the citrulline malate first and then introduce the beta alanine maybe later when you can afford it. And by the way, when I mean afford it, it's not super expensive. I think the one that I maybe bought was like under $20, maybe like 15, maybe, I don't know, after tax and everything. So see what your goals are, but obviously protein powder. If you want to get branched chain amino acids, BCAAs, go for it. Realistically, like unless you're doing the CrossFit shit, you're probably not really going to need it. I stopped taking it. I might get it again just because it tastes good and whatever. It's extra BCAAs. I don't know. But yeah, protein powder, citrulline malate, beta alanine in that order. That's just my opinion. Like I said, again, just because I don't want anyone to be pissed at me if they buy shit and something happens or they hate it. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. This is just my own opinions, what I like, what I use, my thoughts on it. Take it or leave it. Do what you want with it. And I believe that's kind of it. Who knows? I might do another one of these. Maybe have my buddy Jason on again. He's been on 2 or 3 episodes and maybe he can introduce more things. I mean, like I can go in eating stuff, like my eating habits, but right now my eating habits are pretty trash. I mean, my lunches are on point because I'm at work, but I don't know. I'm having a good time. You know, I'm moved. I'm having some beers. I'll have some beers later after this. But you know what? I deserve it. You know, you got to have, you know, some sanity in your life. You know, of course, you want to put in the work. You want to stay dedicated. You want to stay on top of your schedule. You know, don't be a little sissy ass bitch. You're never going to go anywhere. You're not going to increase your gains or lose weight if you don't stay on top of it. But, you know, you also want to have a good quality of life and have fun and, you know, hang out with your friends, your loved ones, you know, your wife, your husband, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, or just yourself and have fun. You know, got to have that good balance. So I believe that is it. I will send you off with this from Greg Plitt. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I love you. Thank you for supporting the podcast. Bye.
Championships aren't won in the theater of the arena. They're won in the thousands of hours in the training room, the labs, and the 5 a.m. runs, and when it's raining, when everyone else is sleeping. That's when it's won. The heart of a champion is a light switch that's always on. It doesn't go on and off when someone's watching. It's constant. It's how you look at something. If your name's attached to it, that you do it right, the best of your ability every single time. If you're dusting your countertops, do you dust around the picture frame, or do you pick the up and dust the entire thing? Do the job right or don't do it at all. That's the same person who has his hand raised on the podium one day. Same motherfuckers. How you hold yourself in the small things of life. Build the character winning blocks of the things that we're remembered for. I see them as one and one the same, guys. It begins right now with no one looking, man. And how you hold yourself, how you see yourself. What do you do when no one's watching? If you do it then, I guarantee you, you'll be doing it when everyone's watching.
Podcast.